Do you sometimes get glimpses of awareness throughout the day? Little moments perhaps triggered by watching a non-duality YouTube video or just a thought, but you don't feel fully established as it. This video can change that. American sage Lester Levinson said, "When you want freedom more than anything else in the world, you'll get it pronto." And he was talking about the slow speed that which many go with realizing the truth of who they are and releasing anything to the contrary. To be aware of awareness all the time, we must make awakening the number one thing in our life. To be awake and stay awake and aware of our true nature as this awareness, the infinite being, Brahman, Shiva, God, we must turn all desire inward towards the self with a capital S. In the tradition of Advaita Vedanta, the simple basic instruction is to turn attention towards the knower of experience. That I-ness, that amness of you. Negate all the objects and abide as this ever-present awareness, revealing its ever-present qualities of peace, love, and non-separateness with the all. In the tradition of Kashmir Shaivism, the simple and basic instruction is to recognize every arising as the pulsation of your own consciousness and continuously rest in this recognition until all the contracted knots unwind and you're fully established as the ultimate. So this is the pathless path of awakening and embodiment, recognizing and resting as your true nature, awareness, and releasing all of the contracted feelings until you're resting as this peace and wholeness that you already are. The first step is to notice yourself as this witnessing awareness. The second is to abide as this and to discover its qualities of peace, imperturbability, fullness, and effortless flow, and to allow that to infuse your life by allowing all of the contracted and unloving feelings to release and dissolve in the context of this existential safety. So, from this recognizing and resting as one's true self, a greater harmony unfolds in life. Effortless action and manifestation appear increasingly possible, and a deep inner peace and happiness begins to permeate everything. In some traditions, they even believed siddhis, those deeply established as their true nature, even possessed special powers to extend their lifespan indefinitely, to extreme periods at least, or have an element of control over the external world. So I'll let you make your mind up on that one. But over here, it was realized that although I had the deepest interest in this topic, maybe I myself wasn't really as committed to going all the way as I perhaps previously imagined I was. I mean, it was clear to me that everything is consciousness, and that what we essentially are is this beingness that's undisturbed by the content of experience. That's the peace that passeth all understanding, right? It was obvious and available at any moment, despite moments of fear or contraction. Even with a panic attack, I could see the formlessness underneath that, the ultimate transparency to it. But I was noticing that some actions in life still felt quite sticky or stressful, or certain things would still trigger feelings of anger or fear for more than just a few moments. Although it never really felt like I truly identified with the story, it was obvious it was just playing out. I still had to admit to myself, sometimes it was still playing out. And I didn't want just a few tastes of the fruit of awareness, but the whole fruit. I also heard Lester say, if it's world, it's no good. If it's world, it's no good. And I remember feeling this subtle reaction in my body to that phrase. Something within me recognized that some of my desires were still turned outward towards getting things in the world, like a relationship or more financial security or whatever else. It wasn't that I couldn't have those things or that I shouldn't go for them, but it was being honest with myself about whether there might be a subtle idea that these things are going to bring me some kind of peace or happiness or security that I don't already have within. It challenged my belief that I was really fully in on awakening and releasing the feelings, with a bunch of other signs and synchronicities that were lining up. Everything seemed to be pointing me to the same thing. And the phrase, turn all desires towards the self, rattled in my head. And so, after admitting that the only way to fully embody this was to deeply rest as this awareness, it appeared that I was waking back up more often. Instead of the attention going so much outward towards all of the form, it started going more inwards, perhaps better said, relaxing back and resting as this full view of awareness. There's the idea over here that many of us don't do this as much as we say we'd like to, and don't go all the way so quickly, is because somewhere inside there's a fear of letting go, of the idea of being a separate limited self. Some say that at some point in their life, they experienced such thing as an ego death, and for a moment it felt terrifying and like I was going to die, and I've had that experience too. When that thing seems to be slowly dissolving, it can feel like what you are is dissolving too, because that's what you've believed yourself to be. But the truth is, there's nothing to fear, and it's just a mistaken identity. The secret to being aware of awareness all the time is to really be open to the idea that this is what you truly are. That awakening and embodying your true nature is the key to everything you could ever want. That the peace and happiness and the freedom in the world that you want all comes most efficiently from abiding as this awareness and staying in that recognition of your true nature until it pervades everything. Remember, when you want freedom more than anything else in the world, you'll get it pronto. And so, what's going to fuel that want? I would say, number one, turning all desires towards awareness, towards abiding as your true nature, and releasing all the contracted unloving feelings. And two, seeing through the fears that you're going to lose anything, that you're going to die. This isn't true. In a way, you gain everything because it's realized you already are that. In the non-dual tradition of Kashmir Shaivism, at any moment in life, a door can open up. These doors are the ordinary gaps and surges in experience, the pause between each breath, the gap between the thoughts, surges of fear or pleasure, through which, by relaxing into the living pulse or spanda, one recognizes the experiencer and the experienced as one with Shiva, this absolute reality. Put simply, being effortlessly present and still with these moments dissolve the knots and contractions until one is fully established resting as being and beginning to embody its qualities of flow and limitlessness. And so in so-called modern radical non-duality, They skip all these steps and point to how all of these processes to dissolve the small self are just part of the same illusion. And they point to an absolute truth that it's already this. It's this already. That's what's desired. Awakening is already the case, and everything else is simply a denial of this truth. And they point to this one and done deal of the sense of experience of being separate just dropping away in an instant. However long it appears to take for each of us, there's no judgment. In all of these traditions, ultimately, all is equal. But for all of us, there's this drive away from suffering, and we get to full awakening quicker by admitting to ourselves that all of our suffering is taking ourselves to be that mind-made identity, to be just this body and mind, and that all the peace and harmony and resolution and release we could ever want is in fully resting as our imperturbable beingness. So it's a full spectrum of experiences, and all are equal. It can be a one and done deal, or it can be this repeated returning to the recognition of awareness over and over again. Don't ever give up. Just give up the identification with the body mind. Just relentlessly, never endingly, with infinite patience and zero judgment, keep relaxing the attention back to rest as this aware presence, which is always appearing as everything. Notice the dropping out of tension in the body, the emotional resolution that comes naturally from just perceptually resting as the basis of the appearance, with no story, no attachment, no aversion, just resting as this imperturbable space. And the sensations in the body may initially manifest strongly, but they will eventually dissolve. Some even experience tingling or shaking and can get a bit worried that something strange and weird is happening. But actually, it's completely normal. Animals do this as a way of releasing energy from the nervous system. And that's exactly what we're doing too. And so as the emotions are resolving and coming up and out and up and out, there can be this sighing, a few tears, or perhaps even nothing at all. Just a gentle softening and relaxing into a deeper sense of peace and inner spaciousness. So before you go, I know it's weird to ask, but if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to stay updated, don't forget you can subscribe because it helps support the channel and spread this message, right? And also, I'm opening up a few more slots for the free one-to-one for the Awaken Aware program. It's this bespoke service for us to team up to resolve your challenges and embody more of what you want. It's flexible for your specific challenges and desires, and that's why these are the first questions on the intake form. And so once you fill that form, you can pick a time and date for us to speak, and we'll see if I can be of service to you. And if I can, great. And if not, we'll just have a nice chat. Speak to you soon. Peace.